11 o'clock.
Thank you. We made this video as a social history and an educational film, and with personal tributes never before heard. I have tried to find resources in the public domain, so I heartily apologise if there's any copyright issues. And I hope that you will give permission, because this film was made in a true spirit of good intent. And you may wonder, in World War II, 75 years ago, when the world was at bloody war and fighting an infamous dictator, who exactly were these people fighting for? In Holland, Africa, Americans in France, who were these heroes fighting for? Children across the world? The millions who died in concentration camps for being Jewish, for protecting Jewish people, for being gypsies, for being gay, transgender, mentally ill, all sorts of people annihilated under a brutal, systematic, unforgiving regimen. One of the most important faces remembered from that time was schoolgirl Anne Frank. Eva Schloss, survivor of Auschwitz, knew Anne Frank. Her mother married Anne Frank's father. I was honoured to meet her. To this day, she is giving talks about humanity and peace and the pain of being a refugee. Thank you. And here are some faces of people fighting for our freedom, their freedom, and future freedom. In the midst of horror, everyday people experiencing extraordinary circumstances, extraordinary people doing their bit too. This is Queen Elizabeth during World War II. Now one newcomer's keen to fly, it's Flight Lieutenant Joey Blythe. 200 a month you try, it's foolish but it's fun. That's a very approximate rewrite from the Fleet Air Army songbook, From Canine Blues to the tune of It's Foolish but It's Fun, which I found Deanna Durbin singing. There's 5 verses written about Joe Blythe, who I had the privilege to meet several times. As an old man, I didn't have a chance to get permission to reproduce any photos or contact his family because I did this in a real hurry. But as you can see, there's tons about him on the internet. There's a couple of books as well, and his picture hangs in the RAF headquarters, I believe. So, absolute privilege to meet a genuine hero, decorated 5 times, joined the RAF at 15, having stole his sister's ID. So, thank you for our freedom. From Robert James Allen. James Liston, my grandfather on the Irish side of the family, was an RAF squadron leader in WW2. He was a self-taught engineer, starting in the RAF as a flight engineer and working at Marconi's after the war. Through my family, I am aware that James led groups of Lancasters on many dangerous low-flying bombing missions over German industrial areas. Jimmy knew Wing Commander Guy Gibson, commanding officer of the Dam Busters. On one particular mission, the Lanc that Jimmy was flying in was hit in the wing. Jimmy put out the ensuing fire whilst half hanging out of the plane, potentially saving the lives of his crew. For his bravery, Jimmy received a rarely awarded Distinguished Flying Cross, DFC. Please see the pictures that I have attached of his medals and his citation from the King. Never was so much owed by so many to so few. James Liston's medals. With thanks to Rob Allen, his grandson, for the email. And thank you for your service and for our freedom. Rob Allen also adds, by the way, also, my father's father, Harry Allen, on the English side, was the chief sparring partner of Bombardier Billy Wells. Billy was the British and Empire boxing champion during World War I. Billy was the first leopard skin, male leotard-wearing, gong-striking athlete whose powerful image therein introduced rank movies. Separately, my mum's dad was a military diver in World War I and transported snipers. This is Tom Oakley marrying my grandma during World War II. He would have been my grandfather, but he was killed in a Japanese prisoner of war ship. Thank you for our freedom.
Thank you, Sergeant Harrison Cheeseman. Thank you, William Fenn Whiting.
Here's Sandy. And here are Sandy's parents. Let's hear from Sandy.
Hi everybody, my name is Sandy Holt from Bolton in Lancashire, and I want to say a big thank you, massive shout out to everybody who is supporting VE Day, Victory Over Europe. 75 years this month, and this is a special mention to my parents who both fought in the war. That's Mary and John Holt, my dad known as Jack Holt. To many of his family and friends, both survived the war. They met before the war, they got married, had 4 children. I'm one of 4. There's me, Mike, Phil, Jeff and myself. We came after the war, and my mum and dad, like I said, served in the army. My mum was in ammunitions in Lancashire, working in a factory, and my dad was sent off to the war, where he survived. He was a driver, he was a messenger, he drove a jeep. He was based in 3 different parts in the war. He was based in Montenegro, in Italy, and also in Egypt. So I want to say thank you to everybody who fought in the war and gave us our freedom. So VE Day, I hope everyone celebrates it and raises our cup and give thanks to all those who've passed. And today, 2020, 75 years on, we're celebrating this very, very important day. I know it's sad times at the moment with COVID-19. We're fighting our own war, and hopefully we will get through it just like we did in the Second World War. We will win this one as well. So from myself, Sandy Holt in sunny Bolton, I wish everybody a happy and healthy VE Day. We'll see you all soon. Take care. Thank you.
Thanks for that, Sandy. They fought for each one of us.